If you didn't, that's on your own conscience. I don't know why I have to go and double check it now.
No, I gotta double check.
Okay. January. You got blue light? You got blue light?
So what are we doing? January?
Yeah, January.
Okay.
Little January program talk, but December. What did we do in December? We got a lot of holidays. We had the twos. What was it? 12, the 15, and the 20s. That was pretty good. How do you feel after December?
Fat and slow.
Alrighty, you're only just now starting.
Just starting the high macros.
Every time.
It's not the fact that the macros, it's the downside of volume going through January or going through this end of December with the holidays and everything. I think everybody feels that way from a consensus of the community, of the fitness community, not just our community. Yeah. I think just the fitness and just the world feels fat and slow right now. It's fat and slow time.
It is. Oh, I don't know why.
It's 4 o'clock.
Well, and you notice like everybody wants to start like the. That's what happens.
Is that boogers?
When you have a baby. When you have a baby.
No, that's yours, but it's okay.
No, but these ones are mine.
Are you the kid that in school that would go like you had shit coming out of your nose, you had boogers, and you go like this and just wipe? Oh fuck! Now he's shirtless. And you wipe your nose off on your shirt. Were you that kid?
Actually, in sport, and actually when I get heightened and aggressive,
Changing the
I specifically find myself blowing my nose. Snot rocketing.
Snot rockets are fine.
As a sign of like
dominance.
Oh shit, I'm getting aggressive. I realize this. Yeah. And I really like doing the snot rocket where I give it half effort and it kind of hangs on my face and I wipe it on my arm. And especially like on my arm. No, like I wipe it on my arm. And then if we're in a contact sport, I make sure that you see me do it and I touch you.
Yeah.
So then you don't want to touch me. So you keep your distance from me, like especially like soccer or like hockey and stuff. Basketball.
You don't play basketball.
I'm a rebounding son of a bitch. But like layup, I miss that.
You're the kid that so you answered my question. You're the kid that
I miss that.
Yeah. You wipe your shit on your shirt in school.
On the arm.
On the arm.
On the arm. Not because you can see it.
So your sleeve is crusted solid.
You can see it. I don't wipe it where you can see it. So, so like I'll wipe it on my hands.
Why are your hands all clammy?
Because I've been wiping my nose. Don't worry about that.
They're like sticky. Yeah, look at those.
They're hot. They're hot right now.
Why?
Fired up, man. Fired up.
Menopause?
The thermogenics, you know?
Thermogenics.
That's what happens when you start having to cut your calories and think about not eating as much and eating better and clean. All those cookies at night, all the time. So good.
My wife ordered a pizza yesterday. So she had me pick up a DiGiorno pizza on the way home. I was like, okay, I can be in on that. Then we finished the DiGiorno pizza and she goes, oh, I need to order another pizza. It's like, okay, well, and then she goes, oh, look at this place. They have these little personalized, like small pizzas. So I was like, okay, so it's like a pizza, like a little pizza, like a bruschetta, like a pizza slice, like an appetizer, you know, appetizer pizza. And then she orders it and the guy shows up and the box is no joke, like this
big.
Is
it flat? Or
this
is
big.
It big pizza?
It was normal, like it was big. It was like thick, not thin crust, like thick pizza. And the box was literally this wide and that long. And she had one slice and then left it on the table.
You were able to eat some of that?
Yeah, I had like 3 or 4 slices, but we still have quite a bit left. So if anyone needs pizza, come to my house.
At my house, they actually built pizza yesterday.
Okay.
So it must have been International Pizza Day because they like brought out the
dough.
Was it good
though?
It was delicious.
Yeah. What dough did you use?
It's some local
Trader Joe's. Oh.
They sell it in a bag, like set up to go. You get cheese, sauce, everything. Put it out there. We don't have a rolling pin right now at the house because it's at the gym. And I didn't want to take it back because once it goes from the kitchen out, it doesn't go back from the gym in.
No.
Right? Non-shareable items like toothbrush,
Gum.
razor blade, gum. No,
Lipstick.
Depends. Like if I'm into you, I'll share the gum. Like,
Lipstick.
no, absolutely not.
Chapstick.
Not even if you're like, hey man, I'll use dental floss and cut off a layer and I'll split it with you. I'm not okay with that.
Though that's some people share chapstick. You know that, right?
I don't.
Yeah. So my wife, I found out she was
You
sharing
have her.
chapstick. I found out she was sharing chapstick, and I said, "Oh, okay, so we're in an open relationship now."
Just like that. Just like that. You got
Just
swords.
like that.
You got swords. Yeah, no way. No way. Okay, so sluggish after December. I don't really like doing like starting New Year's resolutions or whatever that blah 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 stuff is until about mid-January. Like I don't think people should put a lot of like right away because they feel so like right now that if they buy into all their resolutions now, they're just gonna feel like shit doing them.
Yeah.
So I always feel like you gotta like reset, give yourself a week to get back into the work swing, get back into like the training thing, the life thing, the watching your macro thing or your calorie thing, and then suddenly let's get ready to.
Yeah, I like that too because it gives you a chance to settle into a routine or a life, and then make your no leave it. It's okay.
Yeah, I just did it
My
so that way,
pleasure.
that way you knew that I wasn't paying attention to you while you were talking. No, go ahead.
The vino.
Yeah, because that's what you were doing. You were playing with it over there. What if it just shoots out?
What I was saying was that I like that too.
No, you were saying something? Go ahead. I forgot what you were saying. You were talking about how you like the middle of the month.
I agree with that because it.
This is you under the table the whole time. The whole time. This is my life. Yeah, I'm listening.
I'm listening.
Go. Yes, coach. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I like that because I feel like a lot of people fall off just because it's a lot to absorb right out of the gate. Because you're trying to get back into the swing of work after the holidays. You've been off work. You've been visiting family. Now I want to play with it while I talk. You get out of the. This is like our talking stick.
Yeah. The conch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get back to work, back to life. You got kids. They're going back to school. Everything's going back to normal. So you're getting in the swing of life again. And then you're adding on top of that, like, oh, I want to lose 10 pounds, so I'm going to do this diet, or I'm going to do this exercise program, or I'm going to do, I'm going to only wear red on Wednesdays, or whatever your New Year's resolution is. I want to journal more and spend more time meditating, so I'm doing that in the mornings, or, I'm going to brush my teeth twice a day. A lot of people don't do that. Maybe that should be your resolution.
I don't believe in brushing teeth right now.
And
I don't understand what the problem.
Oh my God.
I floss every day.
Oh
I floss and I brush my teeth twice a day, but I do not believe in brushing my teeth at night before bed.
Explain, unpack, as they would say, unpack that for me.
I just don't believe it.
Why not?
Why do I have to?
Because you just finished eating all day. The mouth has been used.
Okay.
You've been eating.
Yeah.
You've been digesting. Then you clean your teeth before you just sit.
So I clean them.
Yeah, you clean them,
And then I drink some water and I hang out for a little bit and I don't immediately go to bed. I might snack in between that and then I go to bed.
Okay.
But the goal is really because the toothpaste itself dries your mouth out and then it creates more of a problem for me in the night. And then I also create a lot of phlegm. I got a lot of phlegm from the toothpaste and I don't really like the...
So I can understand if you're brushing like maybe 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. And then you're not eating, and then you're going to bed at, say, midnight.
I would say I brush my teeth at 10, I go to bed at 11:30,
Okay.
and then I wake up at 12:30 and snack to bed. That's just trying to break it, like demons in the night. Demons
Yes.
in the night.
Yeah.
Like Milo keeps talking about ghosts in the night, and the reality, that's just me snack eating.
It's not a ghost, son.
No,
It's
it's
me.
just me snack eating. And then, so what about resolutions? What's your feeling on resolutions?
I like the concept of like, hey, we're all gonna do something together. We're all gonna make a change for the betterment of ourselves. I feel like a lot of people don't put realistic
Are you
goals.
starting politics, bro?
And this is the stance I'm running on.
Solidarity!
If I run for office, there's plenty out there on the internet that'll get me booted off that before I get started.
So resolutions, if they're group based or like
No,
as a
you
whole,
didn't let me finish, so you don't understand.
I'm trying not to because you never give me back the plunger.
Well, I'm talking, so I get the plunger.
You never gave it to me.
I feel like a lot of people fall into the pitfall of not specifying what they want to do or why they're doing it. So they're like, oh, I want to, lose 10 pounds. And then it's like they don't understand, once the going gets tough, it's 6 a.m. or 4:30 in your case, and they're trying to get up and like going, okay, I got to go work out now. I got to prep my food. At a certain point, if they don't have a why or like understand what the exact goal is or the why for doing this, they're just like, nah, I'm done with that.
But don't you think like resolutions create that in general? So like if you're suddenly like, oh hey, it's the new year, I feel fat. You keep saying like losing 10 pounds, so someone's feeling real heavy.
No.
Just random, you keep bringing it up. So you want to lose 10 pounds.
I want to lose 10 pounds.
But because it's induced by the end of the year resolution, that already kind of gives it no validity or no real why. Because if the passion was there, right, or the fear of the 10 pounds, like, you know what, I'm so fat that my heart's gonna have issues, I'm not feeling well, my joints hurt, it's swollen, all the gymnastics is real difficult for me, just speaking for a friend, then there's more passion behind it. But if it's just like, oh shit, it's resolution, I feel fat, I gotta lose 10 pounds, I feel like that's where a big drop off is. And then why is there no like resolution spring or resolution summer?
Yeah, or like I feel like a good thing would be to do a month like thank you. Would be to do like a do like the little unicorn.
That's permanent, bro. Next you know it's gonna be like octopuses on your forehead. That's gonna look real awkward.
Like this cut marks.
Yeah.
I feel like a good thing would be to do a resolution, maybe a resolution every month or a new resolution like. I don't know. Actually, you've convinced me. I don't like these resolutions.
Well, but I like your idea of a 30-day goal.
Yeah, but that's
so
fine. You should have goals anyways. You shouldn't need the first of the year to tell you. Now I'm mad. The first of the year to be like, okay, here's my. I feel like the New Year's resolution is for people that always make goals and never do them and fail. Okay. So I feel like you're like, then somebody that's like this is my New Year's resolution is somebody that says they're going to do something, is the type of person that says, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and never does it.
I try to start my New Year's resolution, or at least my change, in December.
I refuse to have a New Year's resolution because I have goals throughout the year. So I don't need a fucking New Year's to tell me I should have a new goal. No, you should just have a new goal in life.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. You should be advancing yourself every 30 days, reevaluate what you've done in the past 30
days. Get to your goal and then get a new one.
Okay, so then December, we got through December, we did well. We started lifting the barbell as per our talk here. And now our new goal in January is to start moving well, start moving well and creating like skips, dot drills, kind of speed, agility, and quickness through jump ropes as well. What I find is that a lot of us, we want to learn plyometrics or SAQ, speed, agility, and quickness type drills, but we're not really good at even picking up our feet. So we do a field routine here at Costa Mesa, and with all my athletes, I use a field routine. And I give them shit about mom was right, dragging your feet. And for me, the correlation goes back to the dot drill and the ladder drill. And if you can't even pick up your feet while you're just doing like high kicks, the problem with that is that you're dragging my ladder around while we're doing ladder drills. So there's a problem there. There's a problem. So we gotta fix it. So that's what we're doing this month. We're gonna try to work on our dots and our feet and
foot draggers.
That's the issue. We're gonna try to fix that. You're pretty good. Your feet are quick. And then we're gonna do some runs and interval type stuff in the warm-ups. And then our strength stuff.
Don't pull a hammy.
Don't be a hero. Start everywhere. We never start on a line specifically because of that. I only start on the line if we do Saturday at a track, or if it's like just us really, because I don't trust the general population on a line.
just too much.
Any male from the age
that gets lined up on
from
a
the
line.
age, yeah, any male that gets lined up on the line from the age of 20 to about 100.
No.
I don't
How old's
trust
your
it.
kid?
I don't
Two,
trust
three,
it.
three. From 3 till
Yeah.
50, 55.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Milo tells me all the time that he wins. Like, I win! And I'm like, how competitive am I really? And Jillian says, we're not at all. We're specifically not at all. And it's just in him to try to win, lose, and then get upset about it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're in our like GBT strength stuff. So we're doing 10 by 10 squats, pretty sore.
Very sore.
And then we're
Sitting down on the toilet with 2 hands this week, like this. Yeah.
bench not so bad because we did it kind of on a holiday workout.
Bench not so bad.
So this week will be a little different. Are you gonna try to repeat the same weight you did last week, or are you gonna try to go up?
Probably go up. And what's the protocol call for?
It says either go up by 5 to 10% or keep it the same if you've gotten over 92 reps. So that's being able to drop your last 4 sets to 8. So you gotta do 6 sets of 10 and then 4 sets of 8 every week, and then you can keep going up. Because we're gonna do this for 3 weeks, 1 week taper.
Yeah, so I would do 205 this week,
Okay?
and then 225 the following.
Yeah. And then goal again is still 92%, getting 92 reps. We'll do the same thing with the bench and the bent over row. And then we go into more like for the aux and the Olympic lifting stuff that we're doing. We're gonna do some more barbell complex on the weekend or near the end of the week, and working on some ladders then too. And then early in the week, working on just our power and output development through some drop sets. I think week 1 was 3, 2, and 1. This week, we're gonna go to more muscle and strength on the 3s, and then more speed on the doubles, and then squats on the singles. I think they can get a couple more reps on them. That's about it really with the Olympic lifts.
What do you think about somebody doing like this 10 by 10? Because everybody's, I feel like, done, or a lot of people have done a 10 by 10 program before in the squat or the deadlift to build that volume and that strength. What do you think goes for us being able to put it on like a 2-minute clock or put it on some type of clock versus just do a set of 10, rest as long as you need to, 3 to 4 minutes, then do another set of 10, dick around, do another set of 10, and it takes you 40 minutes to get through this versus what does it take us, 22
minutes. Yeah, I think the variable difference is like a lot of like hypertrophy or like bodybuilding programs, they call for like a 0 to 30 seconds or 60 seconds to 90-second rest. And we're like inside that 30 to 60 seconds because of the 2 movements that we superset. And I find that it builds more conditioning, and then we actually keep the barbell speed up. Because my biggest issue that I find with a lot of my athletes is the hypertrophy just slows them down in general. So that's really why when you talked about December being a slow month, I'm really like into like using that time. We're already going to be slow. Why not train to be slow? And I understand that that's why hypertrophy is so good after a season, because after a long season, your body breaks down and you got to put that mass back on. So like a basketball player being able to go in the playoffs at weight that he wants to be, and so it takes 85 games or whatever to get there, right? So the problem is, again, back to the ability to move fast. And so that's where our minimal amount of rest time creates a fast barbell speed, and then like the kind of the two together will allow for us not to slow down too much.
What do you think is the like pro and con to moving at this speed with a little bit of a lighter weight versus so moving at this speed with a 185 like we did this week or last week versus moving at this weight at maybe a 245 or 250 or 265, somewhere around there, but it taking a lot longer to get
taking you like a minute to do it versus 20 seconds or something like that?
Yeah, or just the whole, we didn't get through, we got through this in 20 minutes at 185 versus using a much heavier weight and then it taking us twice as long to get through.
I think it loses kind of that like compression of the hypertrophy, like endurance, because hypertrophy is a form of endurance, so it's volume endurance. So then if I start putting a 2-minute or a 3-minute rest in between my sets, I'm now turning it into more of a strength or a power-based cycle. And then if I'm doing power, I want to bring that number way down anyway. So I'd rather do 300 sets of 3 reps to get my total of 100 or whatever. What would that be? I'm looking for 100 reps, right?
100 reps.
So
yeah.
somewhere around something like that where I do.
Well, by sets of 3 instead of 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where I feel like if you don't keep up the speed, you're gonna lose some of that. Same thing with the reps.
So you're saying at a certain point, it's almost counterproductive to do the 10s with that heavy of a weight because then it's turning. Well, depending on where your strength is, but if you're doing the 10 and it's taking you that long, you're no longer in the hypertrophy endurance portion. You're now in a strength power portion.
Yeah.
And if that were the case, you'd be better off served to develop those things with a smaller, more explosive set with those heavy weights.
Yeah. Or you could make it a tempo. So
Okay.
if your goal is time under tension, then either lower the weight or create the same weight but put it under a tempo.
Yeah.
So then, because the reality of hypertrophy, you could also load it as a 4-4-4-2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 1, 2, up 1, 2, 3, 4, and that would be somewhere around 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So then a set of 10 would take you 100 seconds.
Yeah.
So now, and then you rested another, and imagine you did this with just back squatting on a tempo, 1 minute to do your tempo back squats, and then 1 minute to rest. Because that still elicits the same type of response. But for me, for athletes, it just slows them down too much. So if you were a bodybuilder or you wanted to really develop a lot of mass or volume, then absolutely. Mm-hmm. But I'm just someone who believes in that if I train slow, I am slow. Mm-hmm. And I mean, there's a happy medium with 80% too. So if I am moving at 80% speed or 50% speed, it's okay. But once you start moving further beyond that, it's going to be hard to move away from that. Right. So if I train a marathon shuffle all the time, I'm not going to be very good at sprinting, mm-hmm. and vice versa.
Okay.
And vice versa.
Yeah, because I mean, you see that kind of age-old, especially you see here when we have classes moving through this workout, and you have drop-ins or even some portions of the population that are like, oh, we're squatting, we're doing 10s, I want to go heavy, like 185, like I'm a 500 pound, or I'm like a 450 pound squatter, I'm a 400 pound squatter, I squat over 4 plates, 155, 165 is too light for me to do 10 reps of back squat with, but then you see them get, put on 185 or 205 or 225, and they just get eaten up by the clock and don't make it out.
I think that's partially conditioning, mm-hmm. so they don't actually have that lung capacity, because for me, I think I did it at 165, which I didn't get sore at all. I haven't really been squatting much, but my lungs and my costals were sore. So I was sore in my rib cage from actually doing that, right? and our barbell speed in general is faster than most. Mm-hmm. So then I should say in reality, like, look, dude, if your 10 back squats take you longer than 30 seconds, mm-hmm. that means you're taking 2.5 seconds or 2 seconds a back squat. So like literally squatting 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're on a tempo back squat. Mm-hmm. So then I should either A, put it on a tempo, or tell you, hey man, you got to get your rep speed done in a set amount. I think that's sometimes the issue too with people that do EMOMs in general. So when people do EMOMs, they look at the 1 minute clock, they don't look at the barbell movement, right? So let's say you're doing 5 power snatches on an EMOM for 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. So every minute I should look how fast my snatch takes me, whether I'm increasing weight or keeping it the same, and then watch that through the whole 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. So then my 5 should take me 15 seconds, 10 seconds, and when it's starting to slow down, I should understand that there's some type of conditioning happening, or there's some type of load happening. Something's happening to create a slower movement. And I don't think people look at that number.
Yeah. And I think too, people think that, oh, I can't get strong if I'm doing conditioning.
Yes.
Like, they're like, oh, we're doing a 10 by 10, but I'm only using 165. And Max is saying that the conditioning is my problem, but I want to get strong. Like, I want to squat heavy. Like, I want to be a man.
It's like the person that tells me, hey man, I want to do muscle up, and I say, you got to lose 10 pounds. And they're like, what? No technique? No, like, I should develop a pull up and a dip. Like, no, if you just lost 10 pounds, it'd be way easier to do a muscle up, because you can do 10 to 15 pull ups, you can do 5 to 10 dips, you're just a little too heavy set of a man.
Okay.
And that's a hard like concept
Uh-huh.
for guys to understand, or
Yeah.
a female for me to say, hey, you got to gain 5 pounds of mass to be able to handle the ability to do those muscle ups, because you just don't have development in your triceps and in your pecs and in your back to do it. So it's like another conversation to have. And most of the time people want this response of, ooh, technique, or ooh, skill I need to develop. I'm doing muscle ups. I can do muscle ups. In the middle of a workout, I start failing muscle ups, and I think that I need a technical change for my muscle up. No, I didn't suddenly get worse at doing muscle ups.
Right, but the fatigue happened, right?
Yes.
But if you were to, the argument would be, right, if you were to improve your technique, you'd be more efficient, so you'd be able to last longer in the workout, right?
Correct. And that's where going lighter, moving more correctly, will allow for that. That, in my mind.
Right.
And then you can put the load up high, but you still got to be able to stay inside there. So that goes back to almost like that West Side mentality of saying that, ooh, squats are fast. So I should be able to squat off the couch at the same speed that I squat 500 pounds. They both go the same speed. Right?
Sometimes
Or someone telling you, hey, that 1,000 pounds that I just watched happened fast. And you're like, okay, that's fast for you. So imagine speed of squat. So
you're saying the squat should always be the same speed.
In theory.
In theory.
So when you start feeling the squat slow way down.
Why in theory though? Because one squat is happening with 500 on your back, the other is happening with 0.
Because of like the force rate and the force output.
Is this like the theory of like, oh, if I threw two differently
No,
if I drop two differently
if you get on
a
a Tendo unit and you look at it, the speed of force is like a machine that can tell your power output.
Okay.
And your speed of force that you stand up from a squat is the same whether it's an air squat or it's loaded.
So you're saying if I do a squat with 0 pounds, air squat, and then I do the same squat with 225 or whatever pounds, the power output is the same.
Yeah, totally. I feel the same way. So
wouldn't it have to be higher to be able to lift that weight?
Yeah, more force is created against the weight.
Okay.
But the speed is the same.
That if the speed's the same, the speed's the same.
Yeah, like going down and up is the same speed.
Well, what if my air squat takes me 1 second? My weighted squat takes me 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Those are different speeds.
Absolutely.
So how are they the same?
They're the same.
Is this something you believe in, or is this just like a fact?
I don't know if you Google search squats in general and you look up power lifters.
Right.
They feel like there's.
Well, I've heard this shit before.
Their squats are fast. Yeah, I'm confused as well. You've touched on a very interesting subject that either A, we're about to get really trolled, or we should move on in one or the other. But no, to me, it's not fast. It's not fast. I don't feel like it's the same. I think that there's been some like looking at it. I don't know how much research now when I get done with this, I'm gonna look at it and see how much actual research is done on the speed of the squat and then the rate of force, and then see what that is off of a couch or air squat versus with 400, 500 pounds. But it's all, to me, you can always see it get slower, right? You can always see the more of the effort inside of it. And so, the issue too, if you think about going back to our original concept of time under load, if you can't get the workload done, the 100 or the 90 reps inside of 20 minutes of the 2 exercises, so a total of 180 reps, it's more important that you work on that right now than the actual tonnage.
Yeah. Would you say, like, say I was somebody that didn't get through it last week, and I was 10 or 15 reps short, same weight, and then get through it this week?
Yes, because then my volume would go up. In theory, like even if I start taking the numbers and I say, okay, hey, I only did 6s for the last 5, so that means I missed out on something like 20 reps. At 100,
exactly 20 reps.
At 100 pounds, at 100 pounds, I would have missed out on what?
20,000.
2,000? 2,000?
20,000.
20,000? 20,000?
No, 2,000.
2,000 pounds? I don't want to think out loud of that. So 2,000, okay. And then if I think about that, and I were to just be able to do lighter weight, 50 pounds, but I did all 8 reps, I just lifted more total tonnage. So that's where I think sometimes the people miss out on. Same thing when we log online. It's like sweating. Same thing when we log online and people will try to use bigger weights on their warm-up sets instead of their actual like later sets.
Right.
And then they beat you on like a tonnage situation.
Yeah.
When the reality that matters nothing, that's dick. Because the real focus is your regular jumps to produce a high effective 85 to 95% of your 1 rep max without missing. So you're in that sense that's not even really relevant, and so that's why I don't understand when people take jumps like that. Same thing in here.
Why they take jumps like that? Because of on the whiteboard scoring, they score it by tonnage, so that's just how they score, how they rank first, second, third, is by tonnage. So obviously you're gonna have people gaming the system, gamifying it. Always gaming the system. What else we got in here?
Always gaming the system.
What else did you want to touch on?
No, that's about it really. I mean, this is, gymnastics. We got sectional prep, right? Or like regionals prep, or rest in peace.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Things of that nature. And so that would mean that we got a lot of gymnastics and body weight movements, small, fast workouts early in the week, a little longer workouts later in the week, chippers on Wednesdays, and then conditioning on Thursdays if you're someone that comes in on Thursdays to the gyms, because it's kind of the makeup or the ox day, but that's where a lot of that kind of water work is going to come in, or like Dubai or whatever conditioning works that we see at Sanctionals. We'll put that in there. And that's about it, really. Thank you, Christian.
It's gonna be a fun month.
Fun month. Every month.
This month, knock your dick in the dirt, January.
Ooh, no, kill the resolution, January.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Weed out the resolutionists.
Yeah. Stay close to the herd, January.
Oh yeah, stay close to the herd. Yeah.
Stay close to the herd.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.